Es ist wieder eine neue Folge von Nyimas Bantaba. Mein Name ist Nyima. Bantaba ist ein Treffpunkt, wo Leute zusammensetzen und sich unterhalten. Der Name leitet sich von dem Wort für einen großen Baum ab, wurde aus Mandinka, meines Muttersprache, wird aber meistens in Gambia und Senegal ausgesprochen. In dieser Sendung werde ich mit verschiedenen Themen auseinandersetzen und Diskussionen führen mit Leuten mit diversen kulturellen Hintergrund, aber mit Fokus auf Frauen, Empowerment, Migration und Kultur. Heute im Studio, ich habe zwei Aktivistinnen, ursprünglich aus Afghanistan, lebe aber hier in Berlin. Heute wir werden über die Situation des Frauen und Mädchen in Afghanistan sprechen. Und zwar, wir werden das so als Gender-Apartheid in Afghanistan benennen. The situation of human rights in Afghanistan continued to deteriorate since 2022, as reports indicate. In mid-November 2022, the authorities banned access of women and girls to parks, gyms, schools, and universities, or even at public baths, and immediate suspension of women from universities and working for domestic and international NGOs in Afghanistan. Actually, measures have been taken to erase women from all public spaces in Afghanistan. This situation could be described as a gender apartheid in Afghanistan. Therefore, this is our topic on Nyimas Bantaba. With me in the studio, I have two amazing ladies, activists, who are doing so much in this situation since the situation erupted in mid-November. First, I have Wasma. Thank you for joining us. And Sarale, thank you for joining us. And about my guest first, Wasma holds a bachelor's degree in law and political science. She is an advocate, a legal advisor with over 9 years of professional working experience with different international and national NGOs. A volunteer of the Youth Parliament in Afghanistan with the understanding of women's grievances and problems. Her main duties include to advocate for women's rights, facilitating rights and providing general awareness on women issues. She has handled a big number of cases pertaining to violence of various types against women in southern zone in Afghanistan. Thank you. It's nice having you here, Wasma.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you very much. And to Sarare Azizi, used to work with the Equality for Peace and Democracy, an NGO for women and human rights, among other government and local institutions in Afghanistan. In Berlin, she is a language translator and active in advocacy, especially for women in Afghanistan. Welcome, Sarale.
Thank you so much, dear Nyima, and I'm happy to be here. And first of all, I just wanted to congratulate or Ramadan Mubarak to all Muslims around the world. Yeah. And thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you so much. And Ramadan Mubarak from Nyimas Bantaba to wherever you are. First, Wasma, we start with you. Actually, going down memory lane, like we all know, this whole issue erupted or started in mid of November last year. This is like a few months ago. Could you take through us going down memory lane? Like what happened? How did this whole situation started?
I think the ban on women...
Mike, thank you.
I'm sorry. I think the ban on women fruits the society. The country future is stuck now. And that means half of the Afghan population is banned from pursuing education, restriction on their work, and going to park in other reaction places. This ban not only prevented them from education and work, but also took away their dreams, their goals, and their future. And this ban is equal to catastrophe. All those women in Afghanistan that they did in these 20 years for their right, they did a lot for their country, but they lost everything in one day. I think it is for all Afghan women. It was too horrible, too painful for all women that they are struggling in these 20 years, but they had hope for a better future in Afghanistan. But suddenly, in one day, they lost everything.
Suddenly, one day, they lost everything. You just started with a sentence that I would just take to actually another question, that is, dreams crushed and shattered. This is what is actually happening to women in Afghanistan. Apropos dream crushed, which actually brought in the ban of these women working, studying, and traveling, and as well without a male companion. How do you feel, Sarara? Like, if you were to live in such a situation, let's say you are in Afghanistan, how would you feel as a victim of this?
First of all, I just wanted to say, like, if I was now in Afghanistan, so I didn't think, like, I could speak with you, because they already, you know, killed me because we didn't have this opportunity to speak. And I think this is one opportunity for me to be here. And about the situation now, what's going in Afghanistan, it's like terrible. It's not acceptable for any woman, any man, and for no one, because they just close everything. And before, like, if we compare this situation with the before we also didn't have too much good opportunity, but at least we had less hope, and few province they suffer, like, they had a better life, but we have 34 provinces in Afghanistan, but they, like, back, if you go and see, like, half of that, they also didn't allow to go to school. They also not allowed to travel alone. They also had the same problem. Now, every province suffering from that. So we can say, like, now we just lost all the hope, because now there's no opportunities. And if someone's going to do some things, they just stop it. This, like, totally stop. It's not only about the women, it's for everyone. Those who live in Afghanistan, men, women, children, everything. So we can call this, like, rest in home. It's arrest. They are under arrest.
Forced rest in home.
Of course.
Yeah, like, it's like women are forcibly forced to actually rest at home. Wasma, the ban on women employment with NGOs, including groups that are delivering crucial humanitarian aid to the community, has as well as serious consequences on the population dependent on such that aid. However, the Taliban relationship with the global community, what is the reaction of the community? Because I am sure you guys are somehow in any ways in contact with the community. What reaction is coming from them?
Afghanistan now is an open prison for all people of Afghanistan, not just for women. There is no one can in Afghanistan express their opinion without any fear, without any intimidation. The community reaction is to the ban is very widespread and very clear. Everyone from the society they criticize the ban on women, and no one. I think no one support the ban on women of Afghanistan. No one support the decision of the Taliban that women cannot go to school, women cannot go to work. No one want to support that. And we saw that in Nangarhar province there was men that they stand with their sister and they didn't attend to their university exam, and they told to the Taliban, if my sister cannot attend to the university, if my sister cannot attend to the university exam, I don't want to attend it. And in Kandahar, we saw the man that protested against the Taliban decision. And but the question is that what will change even if their cruel action is being criticized? Who will push the Taliban to change their decision? That is the question, because you all know that international community is silent. They are just have a small statement that cannot help with Afghan women. That's nice. We are happy. But it cannot help with Afghan women.
Wow, interesting. And I know like a whole lot of advocacy is actually going on, not just by Afghan women, but in solidarity with communities across wherever an Afghan resident is, and of course in Berlin. Sarala, you are one of these advocates as an Afghan woman, advocating far distance from your country. Like, what are your current engagement? What are you doing to make sure that, yes, we have to achieve something out of this?
As I told before, like doing from here is much easier for us, because in here you can at least you can raise your voice, but from Afghanistan you couldn't do anything. Nowadays, like everything is closed. I just wanted to give one example that you will imagine what's going on there. That like one of my colleagues, after 2 years, she went to in a restaurants after 2 years to go restaurants and take a dinner, but she was alone. So when she just said to order, one of the Talibs came and asked, like, what are you doing here? She said, like, yeah, I came to take a dinner, that's it. It's like, you don't have house, you don't have parents, you don't have anyone's. How they allowed you? So it means that you're not a right person, you're not a good person, that you came here, that you wanted to find someone for yourself. Wow. So you just imagine, like, what feel the person? And she said, like, no, I just came here. So they said, like, no, you're not allowed to eat your dinner in restaurants. You should to go back your home. And you're a young lady, so it's not allowed. So see, a person who is not allowed to eat in the restaurants, how they can, raise their voice. But for us, I'm saying, like, it's a good opportunity to be here, to raise our voice, to say the words that you should to at least take more attention for those women. And it's not easy for them, So just give them more attention, give them opportunity, and help them as you help the Ukrainian people. This is really nice. And we are living in a democratic country, so they are speaking about human rights. So there is no difference between humans. Yeah. So we came here to show the real face of that society. Because this 20 years, they just show some very little bit to the worst, especially they just show some province like Kabul, Herat, Mazar. That's it. But they're not speaking about others' province, that what's going on there. Yeah. How many people killed? How many people they just cut their nose, their hands, and what's going with them? It's not, and now I think we have more opportunity and we can do more from here and tell the international community, just please take attention. As the Wajma told, it's not enough. Taking a very small step, it's not enough for them.
The steps taken are actually not enough. The international community could actually do more. Wasma, just to quote from what Sarala said, like a lady was asked to go home to eat dinner at home. So I was just thinking, like, something just came to my mind. If they're allowed of public saints not to go out to public at all, what is the future of Afghanistan in the sense of how are people getting married then? Like, how are they finding wives to get married to make sure that they produce more future leaders, not just women, but...
For me, especially, the priority is that women should go to school. Firstly, should go to school, should go to work, and when a women know about their rights, when a women know about their right, what Islam gives to them, what our religion gives to them, what laws give to them, after that, I think no one can harassment the women, no one can violence against the women. And for me, the priorities is now in Afghanistan, inside of Afghanistan, for women, that women should go to school, women should go to work, women should all have those rights that Islam and laws give to them. And about the future partner, it's a thing that I think that's not a big problem, and I don't want to discuss about them, but because that is their decision, what they want. Because women of Afghanistan, especially in those areas that in these 20 years they were educated, they were they worked in a public area, they took their decision by own, and I think first of all those rights, basic rights that laws give to them should prepare for them. After that, the other thing will be good, inshallah.
Inshallah, like the main priority is education, but then under which law are the Taliban's bargaining? Is it their own law? Is it Islamic law? On what basis are they putting this ban on women?
The law that the Taliban now using, it's not Islamic law, because and you couldn't find anywhere in the Quran that they say like the girls are not allowed to go in school. And nowadays they make a new rules that those students, maybe male students, that they are up to 12, the woman teacher can teach them. Which part of Quran they wrote this one? Like if your student is like more than 12 years, you couldn't teach them. No, they didn't say like this. And if a person like do some things wrong, so they should be punished by the court, not by the like one Talib in the street to beat, to take or killed. And in which part of the Quran they wrote like, if you raise your voice, they should to come during the night and give you by the name of, different name, by the name of Daesh, this, that, and they just kill you. And after few days, your family find your body. So if they follow the Quran, so they should to follow the right one, not show the wrong face to like word. And this is not Islamic, and this is not also the law that Afghanistan have. So this is their own law. For everything, they have a different law.
Well, that's a man-made law by the Taliban imposed on women and girls, just to crush their dreams and seize their human rights, which I think is really, really unfair. Wasma, you personally, while in Afghanistan, faced threats, working as a human rights activist, of course, as a lawyer, and I'll quote from here. I was directly threatened by the Taliban, posting a threat letter, and it reads, a threat letter on the wall of my home. The letter quoted that the Islamic State of the Taliban is aware of you working with infidels, quote ended. This is a final notice to you. If you don't drop supporting the invaders and women, then we will have to take action against you. I could not come out of my office, you said after the letter, or home. I would stay day and night in the home due to life threats. How severe was this threats, and how do you manage to escape these threats?
Well, it's very hard to manage escaping from such a threats. I belong to South region of Afghanistan. In South region, I belong to Zabul province. On that time, just center of the South region provinces was with government, and some of district was with government. But other cities, other district was with Taliban. And yeah, it was really hard for me, but I just tried to wear a different outfit. I went to my job one day with hijab, one day with bughra, and one day with Afghan traditional clothes. And also I worked from home for some days, and I changed my place from Kandahar to Kabul, from Kabul to Paktia. And 2021, I was in their target list in police, and yeah, they told me that you should change your home because you're in their target list. In 2021, a lot of women rights activists killed by Taliban, and yeah, I just tried to wear like different clothes, and beside of that, for some day I worked from home. Then I decided that it cannot useful for those women that they are like living in a remote area. They need our activities, and we had a lot of activities, awareness raising programs through social media, through town halls meeting, through TV, through audio message, video message, radio roundtable, TV roundtable, and community gathering. And I thought that from home, I cannot help with them with these activities. I should be in the ground. I should be in the society. Then I thought that in this past 20 years, Taliban killed a lot of women rights activists. And they are like in all area, they told to the people that women should not go to school. On that time, that democratic government we had. On that time, in those areas that it was with Taliban, they told to the people that women cannot go to school. They burned the school on that time. But I thought that it is from 20 years, but I cannot like stay at home for rest of my life. I should go out, I should work for women, and then I decided I worked till 2021, 15 August. In 15 August, when Taliban came to Kabul and took the Kabul, I was in my office, and I worked, and I was busy with some activities that we had planned to implement it in next month, July. And then my chef, our COP, came to us and told to us leave the office because Taliban took all the country. And I told to her that we lost everything, and I cried a lot. I cannot forget that day. When I'm talking about those days, I'm getting emotional because it was too hard. We did a lot in these 20 years. On that day, we lost everything.
Wow, sorry. We urge for viewers' discretion because it's obviously emotional. I'm even emotional myself. I'm so sorry that your country, women and girls, have to go through this way. Sarala, from her narration, where do you see the future of Afghan women and girls, let's say in 5 years' time?
If the situation continues like this, if the international committee not take any actions, serious action, if the European country didn't help them, I'm saying like not in 5 years, we will go forever in this darkness. So in 5 years, because today I just take the, I spoke because we have a group in Afghanistan, women's group, so if always we are sharing that, like what's going. And it's like so difficult because they can also speak very clearly in phone. So they just told me like it's much better than 1 month ago. Because now everything is closed, everything. They are not allowed to go in for shopping. And if they are going to buy some things, they have to wear a dress that should be like, it should be totally black, that not take attention. if you're not these rights to what to wear, so you think how they can take action from Afghanistan. So anything we should to do from here. And the international community should to take this action. And those who is responsible for this action, at least they have to accept what they did with the more than 34 million people. So at least they have to take some serious actions, and we have to help them from here. So I just wanted to add some things, like if you have time, your program have time, so I just wanted to add, like nowadays we are working with a Rotary Club, that this club has they are doing a very big project in different countries. So we are trying to have some online classes for students from 1st class up to 12th class. And beside that, we are trying to have some English class, computer class from here, because now they are also doing one other organization, but it's not enough. It's not enough. So we are trying from here, and we are also focusing for women's empowerment, that at least they have to cover their financial stuffs. So we are trying to make up a small business for them, because they are full-time, they are in the home. So they can do some things from home, and we should do financially help from here. So if we not help them, it's going back to back, and then we lost half of that, so we will lose all of them, because most of the educated people are come out from Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. So I think we can take some serious action from here, and we will help them. And inshallah, I hope in 5 years we will have again a peace in Afghanistan.
Hopefully in 5 years, there would reign peace again in Afghanistan. It's not enough. It's not enough, especially if the international community do not still buckle up more. They should do more. That's a call from Sharala and Wasma. Wasma, how confident are you with your own future? I mean, you have a very bright future ahead. You left your country unwillingly, and now you are giving most of your time and energy to make sure that, yes, all the women also get to what they want. Now, I just like, let's say, would you ever want to return back to Afghanistan?
I think the future also depends on the circumstances and condition on the ground. If the environment is conducive for all men and women, and there is no threat posed to all people in Afghanistan, and there is a democratic government that all people of Afghanistan, men and women, can express their opinion without any threat and intimidation, then we can say the future could be better. Mm-hmm. But in such a situation, it's very concerning, and it's very horrible situation in Afghanistan. We cannot say anything, because day by day, the situation becoming horrible, especially in front of Afghan women. And I cannot say there will be a good future. With this all situation that's right now happening in Afghanistan.
You don't see yourself going back?
Yeah.
They said home is where the soul is. Home is where peace is.
Yeah, of course. We had hope in this past 20 years also, but we lost everything in one day. Mm-hmm. I hope that one day everything will be good. All women of Afghanistan will have their rights. They will go to school, go to work. All those rights that laws and religion give to them will be with them, but for now, international community is silent. Mm-hmm. They don't have any interest in an Afghanistan issue. Afghanistan issue is now in international community agenda, in not in the first or second and third place, but in the last place. And I cannot tell that the future will be better with this situation that's right now happening.
Wow. Hopefully the future would, the situation would actually change. You're watching the Nyimas Bantaba, in case you were just joining on. We're actually producing this episode together with the Get the Trolls Out. Get the Trolls Out. It's a project from Media Diversity Institute, and of course from several projects in 7 European countries. The aim is to fight against Islamophobia, anti-racism, anti-Semitism, and so on. I'm glad that I am joined by 2 amazing ladies talking about the situation in Afghanistan. In this context, Sarara, if you are to change one thing in the current situation, what would this be?
If I have this opportunity, or if I can do some things, the first thing that I'm focusing on that, it's education. I just wanted to do some things that at least the children in Afghanistan, they learn, they're not be far away from the education, because you couldn't bring anything in society without education. So you couldn't be empowerment without the education. So the only things that if I can do from here is I'm just only focusing, and I'm just taking help from different organizations in here, because they're international organizations. So I'm just taking their help in the education. And the second things that I'm trying to help, and I'm just doing my best, it's those of my colleagues that they are still like in Afghanistan, or some of them are in Pakistan, and they're suffering from a very, very bad situation. So I don't mean that taking out everyone's from the country, it's a good result, but for a short time, I just wanted to save their life, because they don't have any other choice for right now.
Yeah, there is no other choice right now. Wasma, you were among those very powerful Afghan women voices advocating for the right of Afghan women, especially now. You've been to so many different platforms, traveling around, advocating and talking about the situation, and of course, how to not just cope it, but finding solution for the situation. What impact is your advocacy bringing to this women?
My advocacy can bring more awareness and resilience to other women and girls in Afghanistan. Also, we are sharing the concern of women to the outside world, to know what the women of Afghanistan right now experiencing inside of Afghanistan. This is an awareness, only an awareness, but I hope that expect to see a real change in one day. We are just trying to participate to all those conferences and events that they are creating for Afghanistan, for Afghanistan situation, for women's situation. We are participating, and we are trying to be wise for those women of Afghanistan that they don't have any voice inside of Afghanistan. We just want to share the reality in life of women of Afghanistan that right now happening in Afghanistan, and I hope that one day to see a real change.
Yeah, we're just talking about change, hope, solutions, and so on. Sarara, do you personally have any contact to, let's say, not just the community, but to your family as well? Is there anyone that is like, of course, all of them are affected, but how are you condoning them?
Controlling is...
Condone, like, making them cool down, the situation is going to be fine.
It's too hot, because if you say anything, the situation is clear for everyone. So, but we are trying our best. And you know about how much Afghan women are brave, and they're suffering, because this is not the first time that we are suffering from this. I think our last generation, they also suffered from this, and we will suffer, and the next generation we will suffer. So, but we are trying to solve it, you know, because solving is much better than accepting this situation. So it's everyone is trying their best in the way that they can to solve this problem. And nowadays, like the situation is like this, and we doesn't have too much connections in Afghanistan and some other that they are living on that, like Pakistan or something else. So taking a connection with them is a little bit difficult, and those who are in Afghanistan, so this is like not believable, but it's like they are trying. They are also taking part of this, and we are doing from here, so let's see what we can do from that.
Let's see. Wasma, you've, like I said, you've been traveling around. You've met so many very important personals, even across the European Union. Tell us, what is the international community, particularly the European Union, doing to help cope this situation?
I think the world, and especially the EU, has so far only been criticizing, and but so far no real changes visible. Ending the gender apartheid, and with this situation that's right now happening in the life of Afghan women, need more like pragmatic action and strategy which should be formulated. But with this small statement, I think that cannot help with Afghan women.
Shaghala, when are we expecting to see stability, peace and tranquility in Afghanistan? Let's say for women.
It's very difficult to say when, but we are trying to bring again that peaceful life that we had as soon as possible. We are trying to have that one, but no regimes, no one can continue like this, because women's half of the society, and without them, you couldn't do anything. Yeah. Society will not improve. So they can't continue like this.
Well, as the saying goes, women are the backbone of the society, but not just society. We make the world go round. So if you educate a woman, you educate a whole world. I think the Taliban government should really look at this statement and know that, yes, we should change the gender apartheid. Wasma, if you were to change one thing in Afghanistan, not just the gender apartheid, what would this be?
Of course, I will change the regime, because the only thing that brings a better future in Afghanistan for Afghan women, for all Afghan, it is the change of regime, because of this regime, right now, all Afghan facing with this problem.
I wish you good luck. Now, tell us your current activities. In Germany, you are active as well. What are you currently engaged in?
I'm trying to participate to every events, programs, and conferences to be a voice for those women that they don't have any voice inside of Afghanistan. And beside of that, I'm trying to working of some activities inside of Afghanistan for women empowerment, beside of that for women education. But I cannot share all the details of those activities in the media, because when someone inside of Afghanistan, the brutal regime will know about the activities, I know that they will stop it. And yeah, I'm continually in contact with those women that they are right now in Afghanistan. We are discussing about the issue, what should we do, what can we do. And I'm doing I'm participating in social media spaces and TV's programs and radio programs to raise my voice and to be a clear voice for all Afghanistan, for all Afghan people, not only for Afghan women. And we are trying to raise our voice, to tell that world hear our voice, and they should take a serious action.
A serious action must be taken. Apropos action, finally, Sharal, what do you have to say, tell the world regarding the current situation in Afghanistan?
Regarding the current situation in Afghanistan, it's very clear for all the world. We just wanted to have peaceful life, and we want from international community to take just some responsibility and take attention to Afghanistan, and especially for Afghan women, that they are suffering and which kind of situation. So I request them, please don't forget Afghan women. Not only Afghan women, and those women that they are in violence. So, and part of that, they don't forget Afghanistan, don't forget Afghan women, and
don't forget Afghan women. We have you in our prayers.
And be honest with Afghan women. That is the thing that we want.
And be honest.
Yeah, with Afghan women.
And you're going to conclude it there?
Yeah, I just want to tell to the world that there is a country in the world that girls cannot go to school. In the world in 21st century, a country that girl cannot go to school. I want to repeat it, a country that girl cannot go to school. Be please honest with Afghan women, with those girls that right now they are living in fear. There's disappearances in Afghanistan that we cannot, like, how can world forget Afghanistan with this situation that right now women are facing with that? And be honest with Afghan women.
What do you mean be honest with Afghan women?
If they are honest with Afghan women, if they were honest with Afghan women, they will not, like, in this 1.5 year, they will not have just a small statements. They will took a serious action, because 1.5 years in that field.
Nothing happens.
And nothing happening, yeah.
Should we call it a double standard?
Yeah, of course.
A double standard, gender-apartheid in Afghanistan, dreamed crushed, a moment when the country need of all its human capitals to recover from decades of war. Half of its potential, like doctors, scientists, journalists, and politicians, are shut away in their home, their dreams crushed, their talents confiscated. Until I come your way next. That was all we have for you on Nyimas Bantaba. Mein Name ist Nyima. Das war's von unserer heutigen Sendung von Nyimas Bantaba. Wir hatten das Thema Gender-Apartheid und die aktuelle Situation Afghanistan gesprochen. Bantaba ist ein traditioneller Treffpunkt, wo Leute zusammensetzen und sich unterhalten über verschiedene Themen von diversen kulturellen Hintergrund und so weiter. Sie können gerne uns auf Social Media folgen, auf Nyimas Bantaba TV, auf Instagram, Twitter und Facebook. Falls ihr Lust habt, auch mitzumachen, gerne ein E-Mail auf nyimasbantaba@gmail.com. Ein schönen Tag von mir, Ramadan Mubarak. Tschüss.